This is the Triple Play Fantasy Basketball Show. I'm your host, a proud Towson University graduate. And for those who don't know, that makes me stationed here in Baltimore, Maryland. After the news last week, yours truly is going to be a boy dad. So be on the watch for ESPN Top 100 class of 2040. If you did the math, 2040. Look out for a little Lewis from the Baltimore area in your top 100.
Love it.
Trying to be like Jacob, as he is a boy dad himself of a youngster that is going through some sleep training right now.
That's right, my man. Sleep training. He's 6 months old. Dude, it goes by so fast. So I think my son will be right there with you. Tommy Dunn in the top 100 prospects.
Class of 2039.
That's
We're
right.
doing our math. We're working on ball handling. 6 months into the game.
I love it.
So you heard it. He is a Colorado alum. So he's representing the Midwest. And I kind of wanted to pose a question to you because Spencer Dinwiddie was just cut in my league. I placed a waiver claim. I didn't get him. The second place team in the league actually landed him, and he's a huge Wizards fan himself. Spencer has struggled this season in his first year in Washington. As the last time we saw him as a starter, he was averaging 21 and 6. But he really hasn't found a shooting stroke. What do you see his outlook for the second half of the season? Because in this last week, he averaged 19 points, 8 assists, 2 threes. He had a 27-point performance against Portland and a 22 and 11 against OKC. We know that those are bad teams and bad defenses. Is this an anomaly, or do you see his trajectory for the end of the season moving upward?
Spencer Dinwiddie is gold. All right. At the beginning of this season, he was being drafted in like the 10th plus round. And I wrote an article on Fantasy Pros saying that he is a steal. And so, especially in points leagues, he gives you points, rebounds, and assists consistently. And he's starting for the Washington Wizards. So the Wizards need his output. And he's been a second-round player over the last week, averaging 18 and a half points, 2 rebounds, 7 assists, 1.4 swipes, and 1.6 threes. All right, he's not known for those steals, but he's playing defense right now. So he is going to be a valuable asset for your fantasy team the rest of the season. And I'm surprised that someone cut him, considering he has so much usage in Washington.
Honestly, I think the guy is going to regret it. He was actually the first place team, and he placed a move on Bol, thinking that him going to Detroit was going to give him opportunity. And we know that when Bol does play minutes, he fills it up across the board, and he can be kind of a fantasy unicorn if he was healthy and he played. But we saw that trade was nixed because he did not pass the physical. I don't know what it takes for you not to pass one. But yeah, I know he's going to be regretting this come playoff time. And for me, on Spencer, obviously the shooting woes is what's been killing him all year. Shooting just 40% on the year. He just really hasn't found his confidence. But watching him play recently, he's playing with a certain swagger. He's really attacking the rim, playmaking. He's shooting the three a little bit better than he has. And even just 46%, an uptick of 6% on his season average is going to go a very long way, not just for him, but for the Washington Wizards, who kind of been in a rut for, it seems like the past 2 months, and they seem like they can't win these close games. But Spencer Dinwiddie, I'm mad I missed out on you, but if you are an owner, you should keep him, but 2, be happy for the rest of the season and hope that those field goal percentage do not kill you.
Yes.
So that was our little waiver talk. Before we talk about who to pick up, who the main guys for the week, we always try to take a little look at the schedules and who has different schedules from the rest of the NBA. There are 3 teams that only have 2 games this week: the Rockets, the Kings, and the Pels. So if you are an owner of, De'Aaron Fox, Tyrese Halliburton, Josh Hart, just know that you're only going to get 2 games. Obviously, don't cut those guys. But just keep in mind that you want to be a little bit more active on the free agent wire. There's 4 teams, I should say, with 3. That includes the Cavaliers, the Suns, the Minnesota Timberwolves, and the Denver Nuggets. So if you got Cat, you got Jokic, it's gonna be it's going to be tough pickings this week, as all the rest of the league has 4. So keep that in mind. Now, let's get into our fantasy pickups of the week, starting with Amir Coffey. And fresh early in the morning, get yourself some Amir fresh cup of coffee.
Yes, sir.
Because he is here and he is good at everything. He gives you threes, some steals. He gave 20 points on San Antonio Spurs just in his last game. And last week, he averaged 16 points. He's giving you rebounds, 5 rebounds, 4 dimes. And he's looking like he's that new wing. They've been rotating the wings, Tyronn Lue has, in his starting lineup. And I think Amir Coffey has taken this spot by storm, as he's 3 of his last 4 games, he's gone 18 plus. So give me Amir Coffey this week. He's my number 1 pickup. His sister Nia plays for the Sparks. I don't know if you knew that. So like the
cool.
little sibling action in the NBA, WNBA. His dad played in the league for a quick stint. He had a quick cup of coffee in the league. He only played 1 year, but Amir Coffey, who comes from the family, and he's my guy for this week. And he plays Sunday, so pick him up today. Another guy, opportunity has loomed. I'm gonna send it to Jacob for DeAndre.
Yes,
Hunter.
DeAndre Hunter, guys. All right. Over his last 3 games, he's averaging 14.3 points, 1.7 blocks, 2.3 threes, and 1.3 assists, while shooting 47% from the field. Most promising is that he's averaging 28 minutes per game since his return. With Cam Reddish out of town, Hunter is the de facto starting forward and should get a lot of run for the Atlanta Hawks. All right, last year he averaged 15 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1.3 stocks, which is what you can expect from the 24-year-old moving forward.
Yeah, I picked up DeAndre Hunter this week too. His rebound hasn't quite got there, and his assist isn't quite there. He's hitting threes, he's giving you blocks. I think that you should see an increase. And last year, to start the season before he got hurt, he took that role, as you said, that wing player. He's a solid defender for the Hawks, and they clearly made a decision here. They said that we're going to go with DeAndre Hunter, and he's going to be the guy that we pay. There's just too many players in the clubhouse, and they had to send a promising young talent, a lottery pick, Cam Reddish, the final piece of that Trae Young, Luka Doncic deal. They get a first-round pick from the Hornets, which is heavily protected. So it's going to be a late first-round pick. They basically said, we're kind of giving up on Cam. And I trust Atlanta Hawks and their scouting. I think they've been drafting very well the past couple of years. I want you to take a look at this stat. Since entering the league, he's 304 out of 312 in effective field goal percentage. This is based on players that have gotten 2,500 minutes. And it's bad. He's quote out for a while. So we want you to keep your eye out for him, because you might have a resurgence here playing in New York, playing with his former buddy RJ Barrett. Little Duke alumni together. Maybe this has a turnaround, but you see that poorest field goal percentage. I'm staying away. Jacob, what's your take on Mr. Cam Reddish?
So I like Cam Reddish a lot as a stash, if you can stash him. Just because, like you said, James, maybe this is the move that he needed to jumpstart his career. Like his career averages aren't bad. All right. He's averaging 12 points, 2.5 rebounds, 1.1 steals, and 1.5 threes. So therein lies his value. He is a consistent 3-and-D stat guy and could have some more opportunity in New York. Now, of course, it's a bummer that he has this ankle injury, and Coach Tibbs says he can be out, quote, for a while. But if you have the room on the end of your bench, especially in deeper leagues, I would definitely stash him just to see if he can have a career resurgence with his buddy, RJ Barrett.
And the guy that was traded for him, Kevin Knox, another former lottery pick. Out of this 312 players eligible for effective field goal percentage playing 2,500 minutes, meaning you're getting opportunity, he was 311 out of 312. So we'll see if he has a piggyback year. His rookie year, he started like 50 plus games, and he just really hasn't found his NBA footing. I kind of like Knox coming into the draft. I'm off of the wagon. I don't believe that that was a move for him to have a resurgence in Atlanta. I think they're making some room for. I think they're making some room for some of the younger players like Josh Johnson that's been playing well in the G League. So from one Dookie to the next, Marvin Bagley, he broke out 26 points, 13 boards, and 2 blocks against Houston. Is it time to finally pick up Marvin Bagley, who's averaging, look at this last week, 14 points and 9 rebounds? I just feel like that's his career stat. And even though he had 26 and 13 against the bum Rockets, he still reached his average throughout the week. But he's definitely playing a lot of minutes. I know he's been on the trade talks. I don't know if they're just trying to find a suitor. But these numbers they're impressive, Jacob. Go ahead.
Yeah, in points leagues, I am definitely adding him just because he is starting. He's getting those minutes in Sacktown. All right. And he was the number 2 overall pick. So the Sacramento Kings will play him into the ground, whether that's to increase his trade value or just to keep on developing him. Now, like you said, he had that monster game against the bum Rockets. All right. So I want to see him do this more consistently, but why not kick the tires and give him a shot? Because he has the draft pedigree. He has the necessary playing time. So add him just to see if he can do it again. And today on Sunday, he faces the Rockets again. So he's a very nice streamer in DFS play if you go that route.
Şengün's coming back off of injuries, played 1 game. Free Şengün, because when he plays, he gives you points, rebounds, assists,
right?
The steal machine. Shoots good percentage. Free Şengün. Your team is terrible, but I guess they're trying to get him used to the NBA season. Article I read, because the Turkish league just doesn't play as much. This is a different pace that we play here in the NBA, and they're trying to kind of watch him going for the future, because it is about the future when it comes to the Houston Rockets. A safe play for the Rockets, just to kind of, since I'm in this window, is Eric Gordon, who's lighting it up from 3, shooting 67% in the last week, giving you 20 points. Not going to give you much else. But, when you hit 4 threes a game, that's going to win you a category. And against San Antonio on the 12th, he had 31 points. He hit 6 of them. So safe play right there, Eric Gordon. I haven't heard your opinion on Jalen Suggs. I'm recommending you pick him up. He's coming out the gate, only 2 games in since his wrist injury that put him out for a couple on the shelf for two months. He gives you a high level of rebounds and assists at the guard position. He doesn't shoot the 3 particularly well, but it looks like he was working on a shot in this time off.
I love Jalen Suggs.
He was 36% before that, and which was like the worst in the league. But he's going to get a high usage in Orlando, and so you like him.
Yes. Orlando needs him, and that's why they drafted him so early. He projects as one of the most well-rounded future fantasy players in the league that came out of that draft. I have him just in front of Jonathan Kuminga, who can help you in multiple categories. All right. But Jalen Suggs actually has the opportunity, unlike Jonathan Kuminga, who is bogged down on the depth chart in Golden State. Jalen Suggs has the opportunity. I don't think he's starting yet, but that's going to change probably here soon. But whether or not he starts, he should get 20 to 30 minutes a game for the rebuilding Magic. So I like Suggs a lot, and I really enjoyed watching him at Zaga. He was a treat to watch.
I love him. Electric leader. He's gonna get you swipes big time, and he was starting before he got injured. He was starting the entire year. Prior to that, yes, they have so many injuries, and they're one of the worst teams in the NBA. But coming back and dropping 12.6 rebounds, 7 assists. Yeah, there's a lot to like in this kid, and if you can withstand field goal percentage, he's gonna fill up the other categories. So I recommend picking him up, depending on what the bottom of your roster looks like and the position needs that you have. Send it Jacob for our next player to add.
Let's go, guys. Brandon Clarke has gone from a dynasty dandy to waiver wire fodder to hero.
Another Gonzaga guy.
Yes, exactly, man. Zaga just knows how to produce those consistent dudes who can just do it all. Over Clark's last 9 games, the 25-year-old is averaging 14 points, 7.2 rebounds, 1.4 assists, and 1.7 blocks. Clarke has been on a mini tear, and is producing well inside the top 100 and is seeing 20+ minutes consistently off the bench. So playing time is
He's
there.
starting now.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was just a matchup yesterday, but he's starting over Steven Adams, and they're playing him with Triple J, maybe looking for the future, maybe even from trying to find a trade partner for Steven Adams, although he's been a pretty big piece of this unbelievable Memphis Grizzlies team. But yeah, I saw this yesterday that he went from kind of the bottom of the bench to playing a little bit off the bench to sixth man to now starting again like he was in his rookie year. So that's shows well.
Yes. And if Clarke is available, pick him up. I don't know if the starting will stay, like you said, Coach, but even if he's coming off the bench, he provides stats in those rare categories, especially blocks, man. He is low-key a dominant shot blocker. So Clarke should be scooped up immediately, especially considering that Dillon Brooks is out for the next couple weeks.
And he low-key has bounce. He's always been a really, really solid offensive rebounder, but he's dunking this ball crazy. I don't know if he's working. He's doing those tire workouts with Ja Morant and the family, but he is got bounce these days. Where did this come from? So shout out Brandon Clarke and kind of having a resurgence, even though he's doing a 3-year player.
Exactly, man. I love him. So pick him up. Oh, another guy here, slow-mo, Kyle Anderson, guys. He's back. All right. Another Memphis Grizzly that needs your attention with Dillon Brooks facing a multi-week absence. All right, slow-mo. A few games ago, Anderson posted his best all-around line of the season with 14 points, 7 rebounds, 2 blocks, 2 steals. All right, so he is reminding us why he is a fantasy darling. All right, he produces across the board. All right, so if you are in need of those steals, blocks, stocks on a consistent basis, he is your guy. Now, he may not score a ton, but he's more than capable of stuffing the defensive stat sheet. So give him a look if you need those tough steals and blocks on a consistent basis.
And especially, again, a reminder that Dillon Brooks is going to miss 4 or 5 weeks, and he plays 36 minutes a game, so that leaves a lot of minutes for a lot of other players, but they are maybe the deepest team in the entire NBA, so they won't be they won't miss a beat. Safety guy Jeff Green, it's like what a great career. You caught another body this week. Check his highlights out. He's dunked on like 20 people in his career, and you think it's not coming, but he will boom on your head. He's playing well with Jokic. He's starting over there. He's small forward, power forward, center eligible. The past 2 weeks, which is chill sample size, is giving you 18 points, 3 rebounds, which you would hope to get a little bit more there, but 2 assists. He's shooting 62% from the field. And a 3. He went berserk against the Lakers. He had 26 points, 4 assists, 4 threes in their last contest. Jeff Green, wily veteran, is actually a safe guy to pick.
A safe guy, and like you said, he's starting, and the Nuggets need him because they have been ravaged with injuries. So I like Uncle Jeff Green as well.
Piggyback one Denver Nugget to another.
Okay. Bones Hyland. Let's go, man. Rookie. All right, he has also been on a tear over his last 2 games. He's heating up with 22 points, 7 boards, 2.5 assists, 1 steal over his last 2 games. All right, I'm a little bit cautious with him only totaling 17 minutes the prior 2 games before heating up, but definitely watch him and make the move in deeper leagues just in case his playing time sticks. Okay, because the Nuggets need all the scoring that they can get. All right, they're either 5th or 6th seed right now in the Western Conference. They're dealing with a litany of injuries, so they need this guy to score. So if you need scoring in a deeper league, add him. But in shallower leagues, just keep him on your watch list.
I think he's a watch list candidate for sure. They seem to play like round robin with these guards. Monte Morris was playing really well before his injury. Now he's struggling in his comeback. Facundo, Campazzo, they had another 22 and 12 game this week. You just don't know whose night it's going to be. So these guys are more streamer guys for me than as opposed to fantasy pickups.
Sure.
Another streamer with Katie out. The Brooklyn Nets look for Cam Thomas to score.
Absolutely.
And to the fashion of hitting the game winner against the Spurs and runner a la that G League game winner against the Wizards. To be able to have the steal a nickname, the bones to shoot these game-winning shots. Your confidence is on a whole different level. Oak Hill's leading scorer of all time. LSU averaging 25 a game as a freshman, breaking the SEC scoring record in a single game, breaking Malik Monk. The kid is just a born scorer. Don't know how he dropped in the draft. Love Cam Thomas on the stream. Pick up.
Yeah, and he has scored 20-plus points over his past 2 games, all right, while shooting 55% from the field, all right? He's getting you those 3 and D stats as well, and with Kevin Durant just dealing with a left knee sprain, Cam Thomas could be looking at a lot of usage moving forward for at least, you got to think that KD is going to be out at least a week, maybe 2, so Cam Thomas could be looked to score, or to be the Nets scorer, especially with Kyrie only playing in away games. So Cam Thomas could be a safe floor guy in deeper leagues. Definitely someone to keep your eye on. But if you have dead weight at the end of your bench, why don't you go ahead and make the ad just to see if he can stay above 30 minutes per game.
And Okongwu, someone we haven't talked about here, power forward center. Also, he's been hurt basically this entire year, but he's shooting 93.3% in the last week, and it's actually 80% on the entire year. He's giving you blocks, he's giving you steals. Hey, to me, I don't know. I think this is the big man of the future. I know they have Clint Capella, but I love Okongwu. I love his fit with this team. Let's see if he can stay healthy.
Yeah, I mean, the Atlanta Hawks picked him 6th overall in last year's draft, so they have some high expectations for him. So they want to see what they have in him, and with Clint Capella dealing with a mysterious ankle injury that they've been pretty much mum on, Okongwu has been getting a lot of run. Now, he hasn't started the last 2 games. They've opted to start Gorgie Jang for some reason, but Okongwu is still producing off the bench, getting 20-plus minutes off the bench. So for as long as Clint Capella is out, I would stream Okongwu if you need those big man stats, especially the points, rebounds, field goal percentage, and blocks.
And the player has upside. So that's another thing that we look at. We're talking about these players. Lamar Stevens getting a little bump over there in Cleveland.
Right. Yeah. With Isaac Okoro out a few weeks, Lamar Stevens has started, and over his past 5 games, he's averaging 12 points, 4 boards, 1.4 dimes, 1.2 steals. All right, he is definitely someone to watch and stream with Isaac Okoro out a couple weeks.
Yeah, and I don't understand what's going on in Cleveland. Poor guys, they're just banged up, and they still keep trucking through and getting W's.
No doubt.
Another guy you watching?
Maxi Kleber. Kleber is another guy taking advantage of opportunity with Kristaps Porzingis out due to protocols. As long as KP is out, stream Kleber for low-end points, rebounds, and quiet blocks. He's had a block every game for the past 8 games, so he does have that safe floor. So in deeper leagues, make the move. And in shallower leagues, watch him or add him if you need a block streamer.
And I would prefer him to be off the bench. This is just a basketball conversation piece. I think that the Mavericks need to have an upgrade at his position. I don't think he should be starting on that team or a team in the NBA in general. Yeah, he can hit the 3 a little bit. He blocks, but I think that they need to make a move and make a splash and try to upgrade at that position. He's benefited a little bit from Porzingis missing some time, but I'm not as high on Kleber.
Darius Bazley, guys. All right. His move to the bench is helping him. All right. He has been averaging 14 points, 6.5 boards, 1.3 threes, and 1.4 blocks, guys. He's blocking. All right. And he's blocking consistently. All right. And he's rostered in 28% of Yahoo. So he is a safe guy, and he's one of my top streamers for next week.
Yes. And it is now time for our
POW.
Our player of the week, fantasy darling.
Oh, man.
DeJounte Murray. Toronto, Canada, stand up.
Stand up. DeJounte Murray. He's been on a tear this season. He is top 5 in points league and top 10 in 9-cat leagues. All right, this guy is dominant, and he just had a triple-double with 30 points. All right, with 30-plus points. He had 32 points, 10 boards, 11 dimes, and 3 steals. All right. And I know it was against the Rockets, but he did what he was supposed to do against those bum Rockets. All right, guys. I'm sorry if you are a Houston fan. I'm sure you agree with us. Houston needs to make some moves to try to contend, to try to sell off those pieces so that they can rebuild. Hashtag free Sengun. But DeJounte Murray is an absolute beast. And if you have him, ride him to the championship.
Yeah, and there are teams to watch during this trade deadline. I know there's
Oh, yeah.
contending teams that would like a Eric Gordon, although that's a tough contract. There are teams that would like a Garrison Matthews that obviously don't have a place going forward with the future of that franchise. I mean, the Rockets still have a lot to smile about with Josh Christopher showing signs that he's going to be a player going forward. Jalen Green looks a lot better coming back from the injuries, shooting more efficiently. So a lot to like there in Rocket Land, but not winning.
Right.
My player of the week, Luka Doncic, youngest player with 40 triple doubles in his career thus far. In the last 2 weeks, 22 points, 10 rebounds, 9 assists. Field goal percentage was woeful at 40%, but it still produced those type of numbers, shooting that low. I got him as my player of the week. Well, he was getting steal swipes too. I put him as my player of the week because he put an end to this Memphis Grizzlies 11-game win streak. He had 27 points, 13 rebounds, and 10 assists, and reminded the world that, hey, Ja Morant is here. He's a superstar, but I'm still the guard of the future. And I love how he takes on challenges. We've seen him play against the Clippers in the playoffs, and he gets some of his best performances that we've ever seen. Ja Morant does this as well. Ja Morant, when he plays against the Lakers or the Warriors, like we've seen him put them out in the play-in game. I love these young stars and where they're going forward. So Luka Doncic gets my player of the week. We're very excited. I like the Martin Luther King NBA kind of game takeover. We're looking forward to those games. We're looking forward to Atlanta pulling out their MLK jerseys, which are some of the coolest jerseys. I got a little Trae Young in the background right now as I'm talking to you.
Sir.
Anything to plug, Jacob, on our way out?
Hey, if you guys want to follow me on Twitter, you can find me at Ain't Done Yet, and done is spelled DUNNE. I put out a streamers tweet on Sunday, weekly streamers on Monday, Thursday streamers, and also who's playing on back-to-back games Friday, Saturday. So please follow me if you want to have an advantage over your league mates. And also, whether you're 13-0 or 0-13 heading into week 14, finish strong and don't take any week for granted. All right, let's get it.
Hey, top seed. Stop trading with the last team in the league. Stop it. That's not fair. Also, bottom feeders. Stop dropping good players.
I agree.
This is a pet peeves for me. Seeing the trades that go down, like you're 40 games out of playoff contention. Just edit your lineup and keep it moving, but stop trading with the top guy. And if you're a top seed, come on. Trade for DeJounte Murray. You know who you are.
That's right.
All right. Shout out Fantasy Point. Again, check us out every week. We got our baseball, basketball, football pods dropping every week. YouTube content. D Mindy, E Mindy, Little Cheesecake, Brad, Johnny Foosball, Jacob Dunn, everybody on this team, Marty and Mac. I mean, Christian. There's so many people contributing, helping us out. Please give us a follow, subscribe, like, comment. We always talk back on the comments. You can follow us at Trip Play Fantasy, IG, Twitter. You know where to find us. And we look forward to the week 14. We're in the thick of things. And stay active. Stay active, my friends. Jacob can attest to that. I know in my league, the 5 of the top 6 people that are making the most moves, they're the top 5 seeds. So if you're active, you have just a much better chance of winning your fantasy basketball league. We know it's a long season. Stick to it. Stay safe. Wear a mask. We'll see you here next week.
Cheers.